All right, welcome back to the shop. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the differentials on a M1161 or M1163 growler. So we've had this little M1163 in here for a while. Came with a lot of problems. One of which is that it showed up with this CV axle stuck in the diff and it would not come out. And the guy that had owned it previously, he welded some stuff on here, tried beating it out, tried all kinds of stuff, and it was stuck in there. So at first what we thought, well, we're going to clean it up as good as we could. We'll put this CV together with it in place and see if it runs okay. But it's really rough. So we ended up kind of getting more involved in it to try to figure out exactly what's going on with it. And I had one of these apart a few years ago. It's in one of my videos. And when I took it, it had a stuck CV, and I'd removed the CV out of one side, and I thought, well, I could pound it out. I could put a punch in there and beat it out. But it appeared to be like it had a shaft in the way. I didn't know a lot about this CV or a lot about this differential, and I'll get into it in just a second of what it is. But I thought you could, because I thought there was a pin that was in the way, in like a spider gear pin or a cross. It turns out I was completely wrong, and I just didn't get into that one enough. So what we found out on this one is that this actually is at the part here. The other one's in the bucket over here. But this was still installed. This is the plug. That plugs the hole here, and it was in there, and it had a bolt stuck in there. So the guy tried to take it out. I don't know if he was successful or not, but the snap ring was still in, and this little bolt was sticking out of it. So what we ended up doing, we took it out, and we noticed that this was missing. The slug is missing, the spacer. And so I started doing a lot of research on it, and it took me a little while to find the parts and get the parts for it. So let me get into what this is. So this is a Ford, well, it's a Ford 8.8 inch rear end. That means it's an 8.8 inch ring gear on it. It's an Eaton truetrac. The part number of this particular locker, they call it a posit traction unit, but the actual part number of this one is 913 Alpha 561. There's a ton of variants on this thing. There's just tons of them. They use these things anywhere from some Mustangs to Broncos to F-150s, F-250s, the front axle, you know, for the IRS or IFS. And then and I'm talking about, you know, the independent rear or independent front suspension. But they also use the same unit inside of a solid axle. And I tried to buy one from Pick Apart. I thought I had all the information in right, because on the forums, everybody was, you know, we were talking about for years that these were out of a 2003 Ford Explorer. And that they put a reverse ring set in one of them, and then a standard ring set in the other one, so they could run front and rear. So I went online and I bought one, and Pick Apart shipped it to me, LKQ Pick Apart. They shipped it down here, and it was a full axle, a full solid axle, you know, not an IRS, but like a leaf spring type axle. I'm like, great, it's the wrong one. Well, I started doing more research, and they use the same differential in independent and in non-independent axles. And that's what this is all about. So if you have a non-independent axle and you've got a solid axle shaft that's floating in here, where it connects on the outside of the axle, you know, where it bolts on at the wheel hub, then you don't use this, because your axle just comes in and it just floats. But if you're using a circlip type axle, where the axle slides in, it doesn't mount to the hub, but it'll have a C-clip that goes in here, drops in. Like you push the axle shaft in farther, you drop it in, and you slide it back out, and then you put this spacer to keep it from moving. Or if you have the independent suspension with a circlip, here's a circlip right here, that snaps onto the end of the CV shaft, then you use this as well. And what that prevents is from the axles from sliding in too far to do damage here, you know, because it's going to want to have different forces applied to it to push it in too far, pull it out a little bit, whatever. Then you have this in there as well. And let me drop that in there. Let me get a screwdriver, kind of knock it in there. Come on. So it's going to drop in there just like that, and that's going to work as a spacer between these two shafts just to keep them from sliding in too far. This is going to slide in here, and then the snap ring is going to go in to hold that in place, and that's it. This was missing that, and I've seen both ways where you don't need it or you do need it. There's a lot of information online about these. Some of it's probably not the greatest, but I was watching a video of a guy who rebuilds these differentials, and he builds them for race applications. And he said to put that in there. and it comes with 2 of them in the kit. One's got the wider ring in the center here, and the other one's got the narrow. He says to use the narrow one on the IFS or IRS. Here's the kit. It's called a C-clip retaining kit. So when you use this Eaton differential unit, then you use this kit if you have circlip or C-clip type axles. And so that's it on that. And then one thing I wanted to talk about as well is that this, in the past, you know, I've talked about with the differential in my last video that it was, had spider gears, and I thought it was a cross for the spider gears that was in the way. So fortunately it doesn't, because taking that slug out of there means if you could pop one shaft out, you can drive a punch through to knock the other one out. But that didn't help us because this had been so boogered up that it was stuck in there. We couldn't beat it out. We were beating on it with a 12-pounder. We could not get it out. So we ended up having to take and get in with a Dremel tool and just clean up these spline as good as we could so we can get it to come out, and we did. And then we had to take this whole thing apart and clean it because we got all that steel in there, so we had to clean all that up. But anyways, what I was talking about with the spider gears, this doesn't have spider gears. In fact, let me look at my cheat sheet here. It's called a helical gear differential unit, and it's a locker. It's a differential, it's a locker, but it's a helical gear type one. And I'll post a picture right here in the video so you can see what it looks like. And these are really good. They're way better than spider gears from all the research I did on Eaton's website and all that. And so what Eaton says that this application for this type of locker is for drag racing, extreme off-road, work truck, towing, rock crawling, or street or muscle applications. So if you're building a little hot rod, that's a great diff to have if you've got 500 horsepower with a supercharger on it, or if you're building a rock crawler where you're tearing things up, you want an independent or a straight axle. I guess it depends what you're using, but it's going to be for extreme use basically. So that's what the military spec these for. In these growlers, they spec them for extreme use. So it should be a very durable differential for us. Okay. So and they've been using this differential. Ford has, according to my chart here, from 1983 through 2011 is what I found information on. So right here's the cover that came off it. And it says right here, synthetic 75 140 oil. That would be if this had a different differential in it, if it had the spider gears or a different type of differential in it. But with this truetrac, you do not use synthetic oil. Ford says that, Eaton says that, Detroit Axle says that. So make sure that you don't use synthetic oil in it. You want to use just a standard oil in these. All right, so if you do end up needing parts for your differential, you blow this thing out, or you want to change the gearing. One thing too is you could change the gearing in these things anywhere from 355 to 513. These are 410. It is stamped on here 410. I've thought about lowering the gearing on mine because it just seems like it's geared a little too high, especially for just taking off. And the thing will do 85. I don't want to do 85 in it. I'm on trails all the time. And just around town, putting around town. So I've been thinking about lowering the gearing on mine. The only issue I'll have is that transfer case noise we get from these, the chain noise. If I lower my gearing, I'm going to have that chain noise is going to come in at like 35 miles an hour instead of 45 miles an hour, and that's kind of an issue. So that's something kind of holding me back right now. But if there's any of you guys that are using your growlers more on the highway, you're out there doing 50 miles an hour, you want to drive it on the freeway, on the highway a lot. If you lower, or if you raise your gearing, go to like a 355 or something like that, that transfer case noise isn't going to come in until about 55 miles an hour. So if that's something that's really been bothering you, is that transfer case noise, that chain spinning too fast, raise your gearing on these things. You can get the ring set, you can get the reverse ring set and the standard ring set. You can change them out, it's pretty simple. And then you'll be able to go higher speeds without having that noise and worrying about stretching your chain from going too fast in it. And so if you do need parts for these, if you do need a differential unit or you need parts for these, if you just go online and search like on Google or eBay or whatever, 913 Alpha 561, it's going to be this unit. It's going to be the same unit. Now, there's a lot of them that have this type of differential shape, this one here. And you can find one that's looks just like this, and they used it in a Cobra, and it's cast iron, and it's supposed to be the strongest one you can get. But honestly, we don't need those in the Growlers. But there are a lot that look kind of like this, but they are a little different as far as the mounts go and stuff. So if you do need the whole unit, just research it and find the one that's got the right mounts here for you. And it shouldn't be a problem. They're out there. There's a lot of them out there. If you want the higher gearing, you could buy this differential assembled takeout from like an Explorer, like an 03 Ford Exploder, for like $200, $250. If you're looking for the lower gearing, like the 410, they're a lot more, because guys that are building muscle cars, guys that are building rock crawlers, stuff like that, they're buying the lower geared ones. You can find them, but they're going to be like $500-600. So, but just do your research. Make sure you're getting it for the what's the spline count? It's a Ford 8.8, 31 spline, and I didn't write down the shaft diameter, but I think it was 1 1/4. But you could verify that. You can look it up and just make sure you get the right one. So anyways, I hope this information is helpful to you guys, because I know for the last how long have we had these Growlers? 4.5 years now. It's been kind of a mystery in here. We've sort of known what's in there. I haven't had to get in there and do a lot to one, so I just didn't bother to really learn a lot about it. But now I have, and I hope this information helps. If anybody knows anything better, any better information about these than what I put out, just put it in the comments, and that way we make sure this video is really accurate. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.